Good morning, CSL family. Good morning.
Buenos dias. Good morning.
Did you guys enjoy your extra hour? I did as well. All right, let's all stand up and sing our opening song, which is Spirit is in this place. Here we go.
I know, we're trying to do the jump on that last beat. Good morning. How are we doing this morning? My name is Fran Winslow. I'm one of the licensed practitioners here at Centers for Spiritual Living, as well as a ministerial student at the Holmes Institute. And it's such an honor to be here with you this morning and welcome you in. We have such a great service in store for you today. Whether you're watching us online or here in the sanctuary, you are exactly where you need to be today. So if you're a first-time guest and you're watching online, please put something in the chat so we can learn a little bit more about you. And if you're here in the sanctuary for the first time, welcome. We know you all have choices, and we're so glad you chose us today. And for our first-time guests here, please make sure you stop by at guest services and pick up your gift of mala beads. You can add them to your collection or start one, okay? So, at CSL, we have an intention statement that says who we are and how we want to show up in the world. So please join me in standing, and we'll say it together. And then afterwards, please greet your neighbor with a hug, a handshake, a hello, or a namaste. CSL, who are we? We are a loving and diverse spiritual community dedicated to personal growth, healing, and service.
morning light, starry night. There's so much good in the world. Happy songs, sing along. These are the things I am thankful for. Skipping stones, feeling known. Click of my key in the door. Summer rain on window pane. These are the things I am thankful for. I would know just what to say if you asked me what my favorite is. Of all of the wonder in all of the world, you're at the top of my list. Holding hands, weekend plans, and finding out what love is for. Open spaces, fireplaces. These are the things I am thankful for. I would know just what to say if you asked me what my favorite is. Of all of the wonder in all of the world, you're at the top of my list. It's how you keep showing me everything that I missed before, but I see them now, too many to count. All of the things I am grateful for. These are the things I am thankful for.
Good morning, CSL. Oh, so nice to see all your shining faces this morning. I'm grateful for you. CSL is part of a global organization with over 500 centers worldwide. We're a spiritual community that honors all religions and all faiths. And that's because we know there is no wrong way to worship, whether you're lighting a candle, repeating a mantra, or just offering an honest prayer. We respect and we honor any way that draws any of us closer to spirit and closer to love. And so we celebrate the diversity in religious practices with our ceremony this morning that we call the Flames of Faith. The candle is lit for the Tao to honor the universal path of harmony, the natural way. The candles lit for the shamanic traditions, honoring the belief and practices of all indigenous peoples. The candle is lit for Hinduism to honor the spiritual path of devotion and the variety of religious icons and deities. We light a candle this morning for Judaism to honor the path of sacred law. The candle was lit for Buddhism to honor the Four Noble Truths and the way of compassion. The candle's lit for Christianity to honor the Christ consciousness that lives in all of us. The candle is lit for Islam to honor the path of peaceful submission to the will of God. The candle is lit for the universalistic religion of Baha'i to honor the path of unity. And the candle is lit for our own faith, which we call New Thought, Ageless Wisdom, to honor the metaphysical path and the practice of universal spiritual principles. And finally, the most important candle to light, especially at this time in our world today, is the candle we light for peace and for the peaceful acceptance of all faiths and all spiritual practices worldwide. It's very important when you wake up in the morning to know why you're waking up and what you're waking up for. What is your life about? What do you hold most valuable? We as a community decided a long time ago what we hold most valuable, and they are our 7 core values. They are love and healing and oneness and abundance and spiritual growth and service and diversity. And the core value that we're highlighting today, to keep at the forefront of your mind this week, is called service. So last week, when the core value was spiritual growth, I asked you to do something that makes you feel uncomfortable, because that's when you know you are growing, when you put yourself in some kind of scenario or scene where you're doing something you've never done before. This week I want to talk about service, because we have a problem in our country with this particular subject. There are high depression rates in America. There are more people on antidepressants than probably any other country in the world. There's loneliness, there's isolation, and it's growing with social media today. If you ask any professional, a psychiatrist or any other mental health professional, they will tell you that the key to healing all of this is to stop the focus on yourself and what you don't have and what's missing from your life, and do something in service to others. I believe we have a moral obligation to leave this planet better than we found it. And so I invite you today, this week, to find something you can give your heart to, something you can give your mind to, some act of service that you can do for someone else that gets you nothing in return. A selfless act of service will change not only your life, but the life of the planet. Service is our core value.
I've got a roof over my head. I've got a warm place to sleep. Some nights I lie awake counting gifts instead of counting sheep. I've got a heart that can hold love. I've got a mind that can think. There may be times when I lose the light and let my spirit sing, but I can't stay depressed when I remember how I'm blessed, grateful, grateful, Truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. In a city of strangers, I've got a family of friends. No matter what rocks and brambles feel the way, I know they'll stay until the end. I feel a hand holding my hand. It's not a hand you can see, but on the road to the promised land, this hand will shepherd me through the light and despair, holding tight and always there. Grateful, grateful, truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, duly blessed and truly grateful. It's not that I don't want a lot, or hope for more, or dream of more, but giving thanks for what I've got makes me so much happier than keeping score in a world that can bring pain. I will still take a chance, for I believe that whatever the terrain, our feet will learn to dance. Whatever stone we may sling, we can moan or we can sing. Grateful, grateful, truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. Truly blessed and duly grateful.
So before I introduce our speaker to you, Reverend Mike Irwin, I want to tell you that he will be doing a 3-part class this week, which starts today right after the service, called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. And there'll be another session midweek, and then the last one next Sunday. And this class focuses on creating success in the 3 really important areas of your life, which are relationships. Anybody have any relationship that needs any healing? Everybody here's got them down pat. Abundance, and health. And after you hear this man's bio, I think you're going to want to sign up for this class or just take it in the community room right after the service. It's also available online for those of you who are watching. So my friend, Reverend Mike Irwin, he knew he had a calling to ministry when he was 5 years old, because this is what he did. He lined up as many chairs as he could find in his parents' home, and he stood in the living room pretending to speak to this room full of people in these chairs. So you knew something wasn't quite right with this boy then. He put ministry on hold, though, for many years for jobs in corporate finance. In 2003, Reverend Mike left a successful career as a business consultant to enter into ministerial school. He became a licensed minister in 2010 at CSL Kansas City, where he served as a staff minister, he served as my assistant minister, and then in 2017, when I came here to be your senior minister, he was elected to be CSL Kansas City's senior minister, and been there ever since in a thriving community. Since that time, Reverend Mike has led his community into an active involvement in social justice and community causes. CSL Kansas City has an active group called Allies for Racial Equality, and also partners with the gay community in Kansas City Pride. Reverend Mike, of his own admission, is also a childhood sexual abuse survivor, which solidifies his belief that anything and everything can be healed. He and his husband of 25 years, Mark Hayes, live in Kansas City with their little 110-pound chocolate lab dog named Cooper, their son, their daughter-in-law, and 2 grandchildren. Would you help me welcome to the stage Reverend Mike Irwin?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I think this is the 3rd time I've been here, and when Dr. Chris gave me the invitation to come down, I've been excited about this for a while. But when I was packing Friday, my husband Mark noticed what I guess he thought I needed supervision to pack. And so he said, "You're not taking any of your Kansas City Chiefs gear with you?" And I said, "No." I said, "This is Miami Dolphins country, so I don't think it would go real well because I think he thought I would just kind of drape this Kansas City Chiefs thing over the podium. But I resisted, and I left my phone under my chair so I wouldn't be checking the score of the game that's going on right now. So anyway, thank you so much for having me. Dr. Chris, thanks for turning things over to me for a couple of weeks. I am actually on your mailing list. And so when I was on the plane yesterday morning coming down, I saw an email come in, and it said the talk today is about the power of appreciation, and how appreciation is not just a feel-good mantra. It's just not something we say. That appreciation is an energy. It is an energy that benefits us in so many ways, not just spiritually. It benefits us physically, emotionally, mentally. It's kind of the whole package, that really makes a difference in our life. So I really appreciated the music this morning about so many things to be grateful for. But, and I know you're using the book, perhaps, The Power of Appreciation, but I wanted to start with an idea from a different book than that I've kind of incorporated into what I want to say. And it is a book called See No Stranger that's written by Valerie Kaur. And this is what she says about this. She said, revolutionary love is the call of our time. It urges us to see no stranger, but instead look at others and say, you are a part of me that I do not yet know. And I thought, what a concept. Don't treat it, you're not a stranger. You're just part of me that I just haven't gotten to know yet. But she goes on to say that wondering about others is a practice that can transform a relationship, a community, a culture, and can even transform a nation. So that may not sound all that revolutionary, to you in this room or to you listening online. But get outside of this room, and it isn't what you normally hear. It's not, and it's certainly not how you normally see people relating to one another. It's probably been a while, or maybe never, that you've heard someone say, I'm just going to be curious. I'm just going to be curious about the people who don't look like me. I'm not going to treat them like a stranger. I'm going to treat them like somebody I just don't know yet. So maybe we've never heard anything like that in our life. But I think that kind of knowing, to know that you are a part of me that I just don't know yet, that just doesn't magically happen. It requires dropping our preconceived ideas and our assumptions. It requires us to drop our prejudice and our bias that's based on race and religion, based on gender identification, who someone loves, who they vote for. It's our bias about age, young and old, about someone's education or income or where they were born or the culture that they come from. I mean, that's the short list of what we could have prejudice and bias about. But those assumptions and preconceived ideas are invisible barriers to listening. They're invisible barriers to learning and discovering that you are just a part of me that I do not yet know. So I want to talk about that a little bit this morning. Not just appreciation, but a deeper kind of appreciation where we actually practice listening in order to learn that the other is just a part of me that I don't yet know. And maybe taking it a step further, that if we do listen and learn, maybe we can take the next step and reimagine what could be and actually have a different world than the one we have. So I think we all would like to think we're good listeners, don't we? I mean, you probably think you're a good listener. I know I do. But what I'm about to say is more humor than criticism because I'm guilty of it. So I'm right there with you. So a lot of our listening, I think, is just waiting for the other person to finish talking. And why? Well, I'm just waiting for you to finish so I can say what I think. So we've all been listened to in that way, where someone is just waiting for us to finish and then gives them the chance to jump in. And unfortunately, we have all listened in that way to someone, just waiting for them to finish so we can say what we think. So why does it even matter that we would see others and say, you're not a stranger. You're just someone that I don't know yet. You're a part of me that I don't know. Why is it important to listen for what I don't yet know about someone who doesn't look like me, who doesn't believe like me, who doesn't vote like me, maybe doesn't love like I do? Why do we need to consider listening and reimagining what we could be in our relationships, in our communities, in our culture, and if we want to go real big, what we could be in the world? So why even try this revolutionary idea of listening and learning and reimagining? Well, the first thing I thought of was we see where we are now as a result of not seeing and learning and hearing from one another. Instead, we tend to just react to baked-in assumptions and biases and old beliefs that we have about other people. And I think the second reason is that more and more people are deciding we just want better than this. We want better than this for ourselves, for our children, and for our grandchildren's future. Because if we keep doing what we're doing with the same mindset that we're doing it, we're just going to keep getting what we're getting now. We have to find another way if we want a different outcome than the one we have right now. So I love your intention statement that you said a while ago. You said it with so much heart and so much feeling, and I got to tell you, it makes a guest like me feel really welcome, and that's a big deal, probably bigger than you know, for a guest to feel welcome. And we do something very similar at home. We have an intention statement we say every Sunday, that we are a diverse and inclusive spiritual community expressing God as love. And then a little bit later, we say all together, you are welcome here, regardless of your age, race, religion, your gender identification, who you love, who you vote for. You're welcome, even if you're having a lousy day and you just don't feel like pretending that everything is not okay or that everything is okay. So I love it that we say all of that. But that kind of welcome and that kind of acceptance doesn't magically happen just because we say it. It comes from taking the time and the effort and the commitment to see the other person and say, I will not treat you like a stranger. I will listen and learn and discover that you are just a part of me that I don't yet know. So the book I referred to a while ago, See No Stranger, I found a quote about listening in it that was kind of one of those things that kind of stops you in your tracks when I read it. And it says this: when we really listen, we risk being changed by what we hear. When we really listen, we risk being changed by what we hear. I think all of us know, though, that it is easier to just hold on to what we believe and to hold on to what we think. It's easier to hold on to what we preconceive and what we assume we already know about other people. So it would feel like a risk to listen because we might find out what? We might find out we were wrong about our preconceived ideas that we were so convinced were true. We might learn something new, and we might be changed by what we hear. So I think a story makes a point much better sometimes than just an idea about something. So I want to share a true story with you about a reporter from a Philadelphia newspaper. And it's her real-life experience and what she learned about why it's so necessary to listen and to learn something new that really can change our life. So this reporter says that she met a woman whose only child had been murdered while working as a parking lot attendant. The mother said she still had so much maternal love to give after her child's murder that she joined Big Brothers and Big Sisters. And she was mentoring a little girl whose mother was no longer in her life. So the reporter said she put the mother's story on the front page of the Philadelphia paper, and readers were calling in to say how impressed and inspired they were by this woman's story. But the reporter also received a call from another mother whose child had also been murdered. And she was upset and angry because her child's story was not reported. And so she accused the reporter of not caring about her son and about her loss. Because, as I said, she and her child's story had not gotten written about in the paper. So the reporter said, everything in me wanted to lash out and defend myself and explain why I was right and why this mother was so wrong about me and why there were so many murders in Philadelphia that I couldn't put all of them in the paper. But she said, as I listened, something in me shifted, and I just continued to listen. Instead of hearing anger and accusations being hurled at me, all I heard was another mother like me. And all she was really saying underneath it all was, my child is gone. My child is gone. So I let her talk until she was finished, and then all I could think to say was, I'd like to address everything you said. But the first thing I want to say is how sorry I am for your loss. I'm so sorry for what you've been through. If you would you please tell me about your son? What was he like? So she said we talked for 45 minutes about who her son was, that he was decent and sweet and funny, and he was everyone's favorite. He had just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. So the reporter said after we hung up, I didn't know if we would ever talk again. But that mother gave me an epiphany, and it was this. When I let go of my defenses, when I let go of my need to be right, I was able to discover things that were so much more important than being right. I discovered kindness and compassion and connection, person to person, mother to mother. And it happened because I listened in a way that I don't listen when I think I'm right. So there are 3 things that will make us a better listener, especially if what we're interested in is reflecting a real depth of appreciation for other people. So number 1 is give up being right. Instead of telling the other person what you think and feel about what they just said, surprise them and ask them why they think and feel the way they think and feel about what they just said. Because the best listening comes when you drop defenses and give up being right. The second thing that will help is to leave perceptions at the door. Our assumptions and our preconceived ideas create invisible barriers and walls to actually listening. When we need to be right and don't let go of perceptions, there is no listening. And when there is no listening, there is no reimagining what could be. The stranger will still be a stranger. The enemy will still be the enemy. And the barrier between you and the other person will still be a barrier. Leave preconceptions at the door. And number 3 is just be curious. Be curious and willing to learn something you did not know and had not expected. Be willing to be surprised when you ask the other person, why do you feel the way you feel? And why do you think the way you think about that? As Dr. Chris said, Mark and I have been married for 25 years, and I can still be surprised if I mean it when I ask, why do you feel the way you feel? And ask and think the way you think about that. So if I can still be surprised after 25 years with someone I think I know pretty well, imagine what someone we barely know has to say that could surprise us. So give up being right, leave perceptions at the door, and be curious. When we really listen, we risk being changed by what we hear. And I think the reality of our humanness is this, that there are times I just want to be right. Is this just me? I just want to be right, and I don't want to have to change my mind or change my opinion. But what I've noticed in my life, when I commit to paying attention and when I commit to really listening, someone comes into my life every day who needs me to just give up being right and to just wonder why they feel the way they feel and think the way they think. There's at least one person who needs me to leave my assumptions about them at the door. There's always at least one person who just needs me to be curious and willing to hear something I didn't know and didn't expect. And I would be willing to bet that there's someone like that in your life too. It may be someone you live with, someone you work with, it may be a neighbor, and it could be someone sitting in this room right now that just needs you to let them be listened to. So I picked this up out in the lobby at the information desk because I love this. It says, we're here to leave the world better than we found it. And one of the ways I think perhaps to look at that is we're here to heal and transform not only ourselves, but to be part of the healing and the transformation of our relationships, our communities, and our culture. And as I said earlier, if we want to go really big, to be part of the transformation of the world. But I think all of us are aware that it appears to just happen one person at a time, and that seems so slow. But if enough of us do it, I think we can create a tipping point for change. So I shared some of this with someone lately, and they said, you just need to live in the real world, and just let go of that pipe dream. Dreaming and imagining what could be while we're living in this mess. And the only thing that came to my mind was the song Imagine, where it says, "You may call me a dreamer, but I'm not the only one." I bet there are dreamers about what could be sitting right here in this room and listening online, and we're refusing to accept the idea that we can't do a lot better and that we can't have a lot better. So I heard an interview with a Jewish rabbi about what's happening in Israel and Gaza, and she did not go to politics, so this is not going to be a political statement. But what she said was, we have to find a better way than acting as if we must always be enemies. We have to find a better way than the idea that violence of any kind, whether it's physical or verbal violence, that's the only solution we have. Because if we keep doing what we're doing with the same mindset that we're doing it, we're going to keep getting what we're getting. So after 9/11, Michael Beckwith wrote a little book entitled Being an Emissary of Peace. And in it he said, how can we expect the world to be different if we have a nuclear war going on in our own heads? How can we, if we have a nuclear war going off in our head, expect the rest of the world to be different than that? So it seems that it may just be up to us, the everyday people like us, to begin where we are in our everyday life, in the world we live in, and the individual worlds that we influence every day, because we all have a sphere of influence that we live in where we can make a difference. So maybe we just start with practicing listening and learning and reimagining what can be, and just see what kind of change we have the power and the influence to make. And maybe if you're lucky, someone will tell you, you need to live in the real world and just stop with this pipe dream. So I want to close with the quote I began with from See No Stranger, just bring it back full circle, which says this: revolutionary love, radical love, is the call of our time. It urges us to see no stranger, but instead look at others and say, you are a part of me that I do not yet know. That's deep, deep appreciation for others to do that practice. So I know you have an affirmation card on your chair. I've just added one to kind of round out the talk. And so it's going to come up, and I would like it if we would say this affirmation together, if you would. I think it's coming up. There we go. So let's say this together, and then we'll end the talk. You are not a stranger. You are a part of me I do not yet know. I will listen and learn and reimagine what we can be. Thank you so much for being here this morning, and thank you for welcoming me into your home. I love being here and the way you make me feel, and so ends the lesson.
That was wonderful. Thank you, Reverend Mike. Very inspiring. So this is the time in our service where we put into practice the law of circulation, where both the giver and the receiver are blessed. And there's so many ways that you can give. You can give here in the sanctuary, or if you're joining us online, you can press the donate button on our website or on the app. We truly appreciate your generosity and support. You know, it takes a lot to bring these inspiring talks to you every Sunday, as well as maintaining our spiritual home. So please continue to give generously so we can stay uninterrupted with our services to you. At this time, I'd like to give a special thanks to the Prosperous Life members, or TPL as we refer to them here, who give on an automatic basis. It helps us to budget and plan for the year. And if you're interested in becoming a TPL member, you stop out at the events desk and they can help you there. We thank you for your gifts and we appreciate you. Ushers?
Woke up, got a new day. Feel good cause I know I'm going your way. Straight up, singing your praise. Got a real joy even on a Monday. I broke up with my old ways, and I want all the world to know that I'm thankful, thankful, yes I am. You've been so good, gonna say it again. I'm thankful, oh yes I am. You've been so good, and I say it again. I'm thankful. You've been so good that I say it again, and I'm thankful. Yes, I'm thankful. Oh, I'm thankful. I'm thankful. Oh, I found out it's better your way. Love me even on my down days. I won't stop singing your praise, and I want all the world to know that this is the day that the Lord has made. Sing it again, it's an old refrain. This is the day that the Lord has made. I'm changed, I want to tell you that I'm thankful, thankful, yes I am. You've been so good that I say it again, and I'm thankful, thankful, yes I am. You've been so good and I say it again. I say it again, and I'm thankful, thankful, yes I am. You've been so good that I say it again, and I'm thankful. Yes, I'm thankful. Oh, I'm thankful. Yes, I'm thankful. This is the day that the Lord has made. Sing it again, it's an old refrain. Said, this is the day that the Lord has made. Oh yes, I'm changed and I'm thankful, I'm thankful, thankful, yes I am. You've been so good that I say it again, and I'm thankful, thankful, yes I am. You've been so good that I say it again, and I'm thankful, thankful, yes I am. You've been so good that I say it again, and I'm thankful, thankful, yes I am. You've been so good that I say it again, and I'm thankful, thankful, yes I am. You've been so good that I say it again, and I'm thankful, yes I am. You've been so good that I say it again.
You know, the voice of the infinite is silence. And the presence of power and love and the creator of the universe exists and lives in silence because there is no friction. There is nothing that opposes it. And opposition is where noise takes place and why we have such a noisy world. The presence of an unopposed power and a perfect love is what we live in. Let's spend some time remembering that now.
God is all around me.
in and through me. As me. In and through me. As me.
God is all around me.
We live in a very noisy world. With traffic constantly zooming by and people in a hurry to go somewhere. With 7 billion people with an agenda and something to do, we can get lost in the maze of chaos and forget that just off the surface of this little tiny blue speck in the universe is an entire galaxy and trillions of other galaxies and universes living in silence and peace. The noise that is created in our world is created by us. It is temporary. What is permanent and what is lasting is the stillness and the peacefulness of spirit, of love, of presence. And when we stop the noise in our heads and out of our mouths, and we go within, and we sit in silence, we are surely in the presence of God, surely connected to power, and our hearts become filled with love, and our bodies react to its perfection by creating health. Let's turn away from all noise. Let's go within for 1 minute in complete silence. Knock, and the door will be opened. Seek, and you will find. Ask, and it will be given unto you. All of these are the messages of your true relationship with life, with spirit, with God. You have to knock. You have to seek. You have to ask. It awaits your return to love. You can come home to love, to stillness, and to peace anytime you are ready. And when you do, you will be greeted open-armed by the one power and the one presence of life itself. And so it is.
God is all around thee.
Welcome back into the room whenever you are ready. Because you are surrounded and immersed in a power that is reactive to your thought and intention, prayer always works. And we believe in the power of prayer. And if you came here today with an issue that you are facing in your life that needs some prayer power, then please see one of our licensed spiritual practitioners. They'll be joining us here on the stage right after the service and remain up front here for you. It's one of the first things that I did when I came into a Center for Spiritual Living. I came with a lot of baggage, and I said, all right, let me just see if this stuff works. Let me just see if it works. I'm going to see one of these people and see if anything really happens. And I saw them there the first Sunday that I was there, and my life changed that week. I was like, oh my God, I got to go back because this stuff really works. I didn't really say stuff, but this thing really works. Prayer is also available on our CSL app or by calling the prayer line at 954-990-5625. And I will tell you, if you've never called the prayer line, it is amazing. The prayers change every day, and our practitioners are doing some incredible work, so check it out. We're not just the adults in the room. CSL is an intergenerational community, and that means we have a youth center, and it's just down the hall here. And guess what happens this week, this coming week? We will have our youth bake sale in 2 weeks. It's in 2 weeks. So we're asking you to sign up today. It's a great marketing scheme we came up with. We ask all the adults to make all the pastries and all the good things and bring them here, and then we sell them back to you. So it's just an amazing fundraiser for our youth. You might see in the lobby when you came in today that our youth, our kids created a gratitude wall in the lobby, and you get to go up there and write on it what you're most grateful for. We're going to leave it up all month long because this is the month of Thanksgiving and thankfulness. And I was sitting there as I was listening to Reverend Mike give his incredible talk about listening. I was actually listening, and I thought, you know, what am I most grateful for in November? And do you know what it is? This might surprise you. It's stretch-waisted pants. I'm most grateful for. And that reminds me, we will be having our CSL family potluck. Now, the last time we did this, about 150 people showed up. It's Friday, November 17th. It's the Friday before Thanksgiving, and CSL will provide the protein, which means a turkey or a ham or a, Fran, you're making a tofurkey? I must be very careful saying that. Fran is making a tofurkey. So we're asking you to bring like all the side dishes, your special thing that you make or your grandmother's recipe or thing, and you can sign up also in the lobby. Just bringing a cute guy as a side dish is not the deal. You really need to bring something for people to eat. Yeah, right. Right after today's service, Reverend Mike Irwin will be doing his workshop, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life class. It'll be done in the community room, so check it out. We close our service every time with this closing affirmation and our prayer, and the closing affirmation is based upon our book of the month, and when it comes up on screen, would you say it with me, please? And it says, there it is. I use the power of appreciation to transform my life. All right, let's know this. Each one of us, all of us in the world, are unique emanations of a perfect presence. We have been created in the image and likeness of wholeness and perfection, and so we bring value to life unlike any other person we've ever met. Part of life is learning to appreciate the uniqueness that God has made you as you and experiencing and expressing itself through you. So today we affirm our own value and our own worth as emanations of a perfect life, as presence of love in the world. And when we look at others, we look out at others, we meet others, we greet someone that we don't know. We see them as we see ourselves, a perfect expression of God coming before us to be acknowledged and seen. And when we see them, the only thing we say silently to ourselves is, I see you. I see you. I know you. You're the same love I am. This truth is established in our hearts this week and in our minds and is causative to our actions. And so when we leave here and we go through those doors out into the world and we are faced with people that don't see themselves or know themselves as love, we can see them. And we are grateful. And so it is. Thanks for joining us this Sunday. Come back next Sunday or see us in person or online. Thank you. Have a great week. Come on up, practitioners.
Closing song. This is my wish. This is my wish for the world. That peace will find its way to every boy and girl. This is the time for harmony. Let love be the song that everybody sings. Fill the air with joyful noise. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine. Shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Oh, 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 yeah. Peace on earth. Oh, yeah. Peace on earth. Fill the air with joyful noise. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine. Shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Happy Sunday. Have a wonderful week.
Okay, I bring the defender. Defender. Antonio. ¿Te vas? Pero es en West Palm Beach. Dale mi alma, te quedo. Ah, ya, ya, claro.